Democratic Congressman Jared Moskowitz of Florida, who serves on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, was on that trip and joins us now. Congressman, thank you very much for being with us. Talk to me about the conversations with Prime Minister Netanyahu. Do you think that there is a way, as the president has suggested and the Secretary of State, to tailor the Israel offensive, which takes civilian lives more into account, especially in the hospitals?
Yeah, no, thanks, Andrea. So the answer to that is absolutely. But we have to also be honest, which is that, what Hamas is doing is they are hurting the Palestinians. They are using them as human shields. They are not letting them leave the hospital. Israel tried to work with the UN to try to set up a field hospital to get people out. Hamas wouldn't allow that to happen. People tried to leave. Hamas held them at gunpoint. And so, quite frankly, one of the things that I really did learn there, and of looking at this conflict in a whole different way, is we don't just have to remove Hamas for the safety of Israel. We have to remove Hamas and get them away from the innocent Palestinians. I mean, I'm for a two-state solution. I hope we get there soon. I hope it leads to that, quite frankly, after this conflict. But it's not going to happen so long as Hamas is willing to sacrifice the Palestinians and use them as propaganda while the Chinese and the Russians feed that to our children in a psyops on TikTok. And so we must do everything we can. From humanitarian corridors to humanitarian aid. We must do everything we can to limit civilians. But Hamas doesn't just get immunity forever because this is where they're hiding and launching rockets out of a kindergarten. And so, look, Hamas knows exactly what they're doing. They know they're losing the day-to-day war, but they're winning the propaganda war by them selling this to us, which we are buying. They're lying about the numbers. What they don't tell you in the 11,000 number they've put out is that includes thousands upon thousands of Hamas terrorists that have been killed. And so I hope this comes to a conclusion soon. The president has been doing a fantastic job, President Biden, trying to balance, obviously, removing Hamas and having humanitarian aid for the Palestinian people. I think you can do both, and Israel needs to do everything it can under the circumstances that Hamas has put not just Israel but the Palestinian people in. But Israel needs to do everything it can to limit, obviously, civilian casualties.
It's such an intractable situation because, very frankly, Hamas started the war. Hamas are holding hostages. Hamas are terrorists. And Hamas are in the tunnels. We don't have independent U.S. confirmation, by the way, of where exactly they are in the tunnels. It is Israel's claim that they are under these hospitals, which is a war crime by Hamas. But the balancing in terms of the lives that are being lost, the amount of fuel that was delivered to the hospital was, a half hour to an hour of fuel for a hospital. And the field hospital is a notion that a field hospital is not going to replace. These are state-of-the-art hospitals. Gaza had very good hospitals, which were built with international help. So you're not going to build a field hospital that has sophisticated operating theaters and cancer wards, which are now all gone. I mean, that is part of the tragedy. Let me ask you about the aid, because this short-term continuing resolution, this two-step continuing resolution, is a clean bill, which is what Democrats wanted. It doesn't have deep cuts, but it doesn't have the money for Israel or Ukraine. Do you think that keeping the government open without dealing with those two wars is going to eventually jeopardize getting the money for Israel and or Ukraine?
Well, look, I voted for the first aid package, Andrea, which was, which was a disaster. The speaker decided to, condition foreign aid. And it being someone from Florida, I was extremely worried about the fact that we might condition future disaster supplementals. That's what the speaker decided to do. He decided to politicize us. He decided to divide us. Rather than having 400 people on the House steps helping Israel in their greatest time of need, our number one ally in the Middle East, he decided not to do that and divide us. And now we don't have any aid for Israel. They don't have the Iron Dome additional, batteries that they need. They don't have additional projectiles they need to shoot the rockets down, all because Speaker Johnson decided to politicize it. But we have to keep the government open to do foreign aid. And so that's why I do think it's important to keep the government open. Obviously, you know, our leadership is working on that. It appears Speaker Johnson is going to lose a lot of Republicans again, right? This is exactly what Kevin McCarthy tried to do. He tried to keep the government open. Democrats agreed we should keep the government open, and then they removed him. Are they going to remove Speaker Johnson for doing the same thing? I mean, we'll have to see. But there is no doubt in Israel's greatest time of need, the Speaker must put a clean bill for Israel aid on the floor.